Hello, vibe coders and AI enthusiasts. Welcome to another episode of Disruptia.news. Today on this podcast episode, we are going to, that is Will Schmidt and I, Sam Kamani, are going to be talking about what has happened in the last week of AI. So give you all the AI news, how it's going to impact, how it's going to change the whole ecosystem. And nothing that we talk about here should be taken as investment advice. And please like, share, subscribe, and follow. With all that out of the way, let's get into it.
I can't coach it on my own. Hey, no. Gotta watch context window. No. I've been here since 2.0. Hey. Server down cause MCP. Fuck knows my API keys. Yo, wait. Make another .md. Yo, but still. Bad change. It's a lot of bad changes. They ship and 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 for me. Yeah. Bad change.
Hi, Will. Great to catch up again and talk about what's going on in the world of AI. And to everyone listening and watching, welcome to the show. Great to have you guys here as well. So, how's your week been, Will?
Yeah, not too bad. It's been a while since we last spoke. So, as always, it's a lifetime in AI. So,
yeah, 2 or 3 weeks is it's a very long time in AI. It's like the whole landscape looks very, very different. You know, a couple of months ago, I was quite bullish about open source AI and open weights models and all that, and coming out of like mostly from China at this stage. I'm sure there'll be more from other places as well soon. But the latest numbers came out, and over 60% of all US corporates and enterprises now using open source Chinese models, because it just makes so much sense. You just run it on your own, and then you don't have to pay millions of dollars in token cost to Anthropic and or OpenAI and all that. So yes.
Yeah, we're just also discussing, running them locally.
Yes.
And that, I think, the latest stats and compared to, running it through a proper server or cloud-based, it's still a long way to go. In terms of you're not really chatting to the AI. It's more like you're sending emails as far as how long it takes the response to get back.
Yeah.
So, I think that is quite a long way away, but I think it's the use of AI is going to get fragmented across, these models from OpenAI, Anthropic, Google, to the open source models, to local models. And I think the dust will settle at some point, but it's probably quite a way out. It seems though. I mean, today it seems like that.
Today is quite a way out. But yeah, open weights models at the moment, from where we are, it seems like that's the way to go for most corporates anyway, because, and also like the technology gets adopted when it gets really, really cheap. Not when it's, when it's funded by someone else like VCs or whoever, then that's fine. Then you can get adoption, but for a very short time. Once they start charging people the real cost of AI, of using AI and building data centers and everything, it's most people won't be able to afford it. And anything gets adopted only when it's cheap, just like, and changes the world when it's cheap and accessible. It's like when electricity or the light bulb was super expensive, only you have to be from a noble family to use it. But when it's cheap, that's when it gets adopted. Every house has it, nearly every house in the world, and billions of people use it, and it changes the world completely. So that's why I think like open source is the way to go, and open source wins and cheap things win every single time, or nearly every single time. So it would be and the thing is that this will bring out a lot more. There is a lot more incentive to bring out open source models or open weight models in US and other parts of the world. We'll see that soon as well. It is just a matter of time. So I don't know, and that's why there has been a huge push from Anthropic to ban these. But whereas Nvidia, I don't know if you saw that, Jensen Huang, he has never tweeted in his life after all these years of working in tech. His first tweet was asking the government, US government, to not block these open source models Otherwise, it will make life very expensive for the 60% of US businesses that use open weight models, Chinese models and stuff.
Yeah.
So it's a very interesting, and most people agreeing with them and like signing the petition to the US government, except initially two companies, OpenAI and Anthropic, because it's a direct threat to their business model.
Yeah.
But then OpenAI caved and signed it because they didn't want to be seen the bad guys, and Anthropic is the only one holding out and not signing that at this
Yeah.
stage. And I do see that why this has happened is because initially, like everyone, I mean, Nvidia was very much in support of Anthropic and OpenAI and all these things. However, when they saw that all these large labs or studios or whatever you call them, companies have, like Anthropic and OpenAI, have an interest in building their own chips and competing with Nvidia, Nvidia is going after them now.
Yeah. Yeah.
So yeah, very, very interesting time to see what will happen in that space. But yeah.
Yeah, it's interesting. Yeah, I think you're directionally right there. Though, yeah, like I said before, these
Yes.
really premier frontier models, whatever you want to call them, they can't easily be run locally. And
No, they
so
can't be. They can't be done.
yeah,
locally.
we'll see what happens. I mean, interesting to see that Apple has just overtaken Nvidia again as the most valuable
Yes.
company on earth, and I think that's partly it's another hardware company that is.
Yeah.
People are slowly realizing it's not about software; it's hardware. But that's a pendulum
Exactly.
that's a pendulum that swings back and forth, and that's swung
Yeah.
back and forth since I mean, probably before you and our time, but
Yes.
you'll be familiar with Microsoft becoming the most valuable company on earth, where it's all about software. Then the pendulum swung back to Apple with hardware over software, and then it swung back to the cloud-based companies, so software.
Yeah.
And then I don't know what you call Web3.
Yeah.
I guess software and hardware, I guess, together.
Yeah.
And then
Yeah.
AI comes along. It was all about cloud-based software, and now it's the pendulum swinging back to hardware.
Yes.
So if history repeats itself, I think the pendulum's just gonna
Swing back.
oscillate.
Yeah. Absolutely. I think so too. However, like I was talking to one of the largest sort of VCs in the blockchain space, and his insight was quite good actually. What he was saying is that most of the innovation that we see in the consumer software space is only happens when there is some new tech or innovation that happens in the hardware space, and then
Right.
it gets adopted. And actually this was not only VC, he was the guy responsible for the Chromebook or the Chrome project for Google, and then he built his own startup and raised 450 million, because when you are ex Google and you build a multi-billion-dollar whole new niche for Google, you can build anything and immediately people will fund you. So yeah, very, very interesting to see. It's like, so he was sharing that like we can't have Instagram if not for mobile phone cameras and high bandwidth and all that type of things, and a large screen on phone. Same thing, whether it's internet, you need the modems, you need the tech, we need the 5G first, so then you can build things on like a high speed, like 4G, 5G, all that. If you have like dial-up speeds on your phone, most of your apps won't work. It's like everything is followed, like you get the GPUs, then you get the Bitcoin to or like a higher processing, then you can run these sort of things. So you get the Nvidia chips first. It takes 30 years to build the Nvidia chips, but then now you can run these AI models and stuff. So he says that so then it's like follow like where the hardware is going, and then see what it will enable if you want to predict where the future is going. So yeah, but then there is a short time where software scales really, really fast. Hardware takes so long to scale, so that's why it oscillates. Like the valuations and things like that. So it's very easy to capture value with software.
Yeah. The other part that I find quite ironic, or I don't know, it's the nostalgia of when you remember when you got a PC when you're a kid. You get this machine and you've got the floppy disk, you start playing games, and you start maybe eventually getting internet, and everything is restricted. At least initially. I mean, eventually it was the broadband that, or the dial-up that restricted you. But everyone was so interested in the specs of I can't even remember what it was now. It was like megahertz or gigahertz or
I remember
size of hard
that.
drive, size of RAM, which is just laughable at this point. But it was so important because it would really influence your experience.
Yes.
And then eventually, when new laptop comes out, we hardly even look at that because we just assume everything we need it for, whether it's graphics. I'm not talking about hardcore gamers and hardcore
exactly. I was going to say there is a subspecies
they
like my 12-year-old. He really, really cares about his specs, and whenever I'm going through China, he's like, "Oh, buy me this, buy me that." Like, as in the parts.
Absolutely,
because I got
but
him
it used to be everyone cared.
It was exactly right. Everyone cared about it. Yes. Now
I can see a world where now laptops will come out and there'll be some benchmarks that people will actually understand because the AI benchmarks at the moment are just like numbers. It's like
no one cares. No one cares. Yeah.
But they will say, oh, if I buy this laptop, then I can run this local model. I can stop paying Anthropic for this, or I can see that happening where suddenly the tech stacks, the tech matters more, and which is, I think, one of the reasons where companies like Apple are benefiting, because that will then mean the life cycle of person owning a laptop is now a lot shorter because they'll want to upgrade faster.
Yes, that's right. The thing is that I wanted my son to learn about this. So, I mean, this is a few years ago when we were building computer. It's like, no, you have to, I won't buy you, but you have to get the parts, research the parts and then buy the parts and build your own PC, because that's what we did. I'm sure you did that too. Like when you were growing up, assemble your own computer, which was a thing back in the days, but not a thing anymore. Now everyone just buys Mac Studio, Mac Mini, whatever, so I'm like, no, you build your own and then you really understand and because otherwise I feel like we were the last generation who was good with tech. I feel like the next generation, a lot of young people don't really know or understand about tech as much as we did.
Yeah.
So now he knows, now I don't know the difference between SATA 2, SATA 3, NVMe, all those things, or I don't even, because I don't keep track of things.
Yeah.
So but it's very, very interesting that if you buy an M4 or an M5 MacBook, you can't tell the difference for most people who just surf the internet and just use Google Docs, and you absolutely cannot tell the difference between those. So as you say, most of the benchmarks, and the same thing with AI. Most people don't need the high-end frontier models, the open weight models. Even I'm not talking about the Kimi 3 or whatever the number it is. I'm talking about a second, third grade bootleg open weight models. Even they are better than the frontier model from a year ago. So it's the space is moving so fast that you would be able to run some lightweight models on your phone within a year or two, which would be better than 2024 frontier models.
Yeah.
So it's just matter of time. It's it's hard to see it now, but I do feel like it's only going to improve. It's not going to go backward. Yeah. From a completely random news, did you see non-AI news? Did you see LeBron James going to Philly? Did you expect that?
No, I didn't. Well, I think he's one of the press conferences or something, or maybe just an interview. He said, "Trust the process." So there was a bit of a hint there, but I
missed that one.
I was surprised, and nostalgia and me wanted him to go to Golden State because that would be the most fun outcome.
Yes, exactly. I wanted to see Steph Curry and him playing together and stuff. That'd be so cool. But
But I mean, it's a pretty good situation. It just depends on one thing, and that's whether Embiid can play more than 30, 40 games.
Yeah.
So if he can, and that's a pretty hard team to beat. I think it's
Yeah, that would be so many
yeah.
good, so many good players there. But then I heard about rumors. I mean, I think maybe it's just wishful thinking from people that Steph Curry might go to Spurs and play with Wemby. Did you see that?
I don't think so, but that would be interesting. But
That would be like KD going to the Warriors. People were saying,
yeah,
that would be the super
Steph's,
team of the West. And
I mean, I think Steph has got the mindset that he's going to be his legacy will be one team guy. He didn't need to go and form a super team, although he kind of did. But
with KD and
yeah,
Clay and Draymond.
But no one sees him as trying to ring chase. And
yeah.
I mean, I don't see LeBron as ring chasing as such, but yeah, we'll see. We'll see if Bronny James joins him.
Who knows? Yeah, he's got the Lakers 1 or 2 years as well. So yeah. So we'll see.
We'll see. But
yeah,
interesting. It's always interesting seeing that side of the game.
Oh yeah, totally. Yeah. So what else has been going on in the AI side of things? Anything new you've come across in the last week?
You mentioned Kimi, which has got a lot of press recently. I tried it out a little bit, and then when I went to sort of go upgrade, they put on that waitlist.
Yeah.
I don't know if you've seen that, but you can't actually sign up for a paid account. You've got to join a waitlist. So,
they're struggling with compute.
Yeah.
So there's only so many chips and compute. And then the other thing I found that a lot of I'm part of few groups, like Discord groups, where we talk about AI stuff with founders. They're pretty much everyone there as founders, and everyone is like a hardcore user of AI who use insane amounts. They live on this stuff. And they were all complaining that the new Opus, the new Fable, it's not as good as it's kind of throttled. They all feel like that. I don't know how true that is. It's so hard to trust any benchmarks anymore.
It is.
Don't mean anything. It changes. I've been trying to log on a few times, either in the last 2-3 weeks, whether Claude or OpenAI has been down as well. So I think a lot of them are struggling with compute, with energy, with all these things. And a lot of the data centers will take 5 years to build. So the demand goes higher every day. And that's why Nvidia is still worth what they are worth, because they are still the major chip manufacturers for this. So everyone wants their chips. And so there was some other stuff. Did you see that, the Hugging Face security, OpenAI Hugging Face security stuff?
I didn't get into the details on that one. What was the
so basically that they were testing a model and for checking it and stuff, and then they said that it broke through the sandbox and went and hacked into Hugging Face and all that. I don't know so that was the news, but then they fixed it and all that. So some people say, some people say that it was just a PR stunt, because Anthropic was getting all the press. So OpenAI did this PR stunt and stuff. It's not really, it wasn't anything major or anything to worry about. But who knows? So it could be just for the press and the media and people to talk about it. It could be, who knows what the reality is in that case. I think that's about it from my side. That's all the news that I was following or seeing what was happening on the AI side of things. Anything else that you came across?
Not really on the news front. I guess just experience or anecdotal observations with AI. And one of the things that affects me quite a lot is AI development. Agentic development. And it's interesting because, there's one side of it where people say everyone's going to vibe code their own replacement to software. I think that will definitely happen, but I don't think it's going to replace software completely. The other side is, there's infinite competition now because anyone can create software. And yeah, possibly, but I don't think we've actually seen that. I don't think we've seen someone come up with, there's been MailChimp competitors built with AI, but to actually make MailChimp work, it's not just engineering. And I think we previously fooled ourselves in thinking that there's this moat and that you have the best developers, you have all the features, and you've got a better product, where it's actually more distribution, branding, and
indeed.
getting customer loyalty, brand loyalty, and all of those things are still hard. And all of those things can't be done in a weekend of vibe coding.
And they still take 10 years to build.
Yeah.
Yes.
So
indeed.
I think in anything, there is a bit more competition now, but it's still building a successful product is hard, and development was only maybe half the puzzle. So sure,
not
now
even half,
maybe
probably a third of the puzzle. Yes.
And so now we've kind of solved it, not fully, because you still need to understand underlying tech to actually run a good product for 10 years. But distribution, branding, hiring, all of those problems still exist.
Yeah. Sales, go to market, all that still is still a very, very big part, and it's only becoming a bigger and more important part of it. Yeah, that is very true. One interesting thing I saw, like someone I was watching that he built, like, instead of using Expedia, Expedia and booking.com and all that, he built his own thing. I mean, I wouldn't do that. I'm not that crazy, but yeah, he built his own. So he just, and he shows the process in a 60-second video, but of course it's just like showing a recipe in 60 seconds is very different. It might still take 10 hours because it might need marination and all that. So even in a cooking recipe. So same thing. So he just went and got access to the APIs of all the different, got AI to find all the APIs, connected all the APIs, built his own booking platform, and then got the best rates and all that, and then don't have to pay the commission of whether it's Airbnb, booking.com, all of those, and then deal with it directly. Created agents to chat with the people on the other side, even the voice agent to make calls to the hotels and all that, and get the rates. And insane. Like, I wouldn't do that. Just like most people are not gonna build their own computer. But this is.
Then I would say, did he save that money, or
no? If you count the number of hours that he spent, then he worked for. For $1 an hour or 30 cents an hour.
Yeah. It's the joke about Linux, right? Linux is free if your time is free.
Yeah, Linux is free if your time is free. Exactly right. So he did it. But I think there will always be people who are like this type of minorities. Like, how many people are going to go in this day and age, build their own computer? It's like hardly any. We'll work in tech and we still don't see hardly anyone doing it, unless they are forced to. That this is the only way you're gonna get a PC, like this, because I forced myself. Otherwise, you wouldn't have. You would have taken the easy route. So it's like most people are not gonna do that. Only a few minority like this, and especially for him, he's making the content. He's gonna make money from the content. He's gonna talk about these startups who are gonna reach out to him and say, "Oh, talk about our API, talk about our tool, whatever." So it's a source of income for him. So most people, it's not the case. So. Yeah, so it's easier than ever before to build a product, harder than ever before to maintain it, grow it, get traction, all that. So yeah, I think the problem is even harder. It's pretty much, I thought I will go, and for the rest of this year, I will go and find a company, help them with the go-to-market and all that side of things. I reached out to 3 or 4 companies. Every single one of them was looking for a go-to-market. One wanted me to move to San Francisco, which I said no. Family's too happy here. Another one to Europe. I said no. Third one was open for remote, but didn't have the right budget. And then so I went for one that's based here. So yeah, I'll be starting a role in the AI side of things, but helping once again in the business development, sales, go-to-market side of things. So that's where the value is. But any interesting projects you guys are working on these days?
So we are trying to take on a few more smaller projects, which typically we haven't done or for many years.
Yes.
But I think, with AI accelerated development, just building sort of AI niche apps, which, one's about to release. Maybe I'll be able to share that next time.
You should share your screen for that. Find a way to share your screen or join from mobile so you can share your screen in that if it's a mobile app.
Yeah. No, I can do that. Yeah.
Yeah. That'd be great. So yeah. But apart from that, nothing more new. We should catch up again in a week or 2 weeks and then go through what's come and what's been. So awesome.
Sounds good.
So, awesome. Thanks for your time and catch you later.
Catch you later. See ya.